We lost the Zoom recordings from the live hackathon. All of them. But the AI judge captured everything: transcripts, visual observations, scores, and detailed reviews of every demo. So we rebuilt them. 25 teams, 10 minutes each, building AI security tools while trying to hack the judge scoring them. What follows is every demo, reconstructed from what the AI saw and heard. 4 tracks, 25 teams, 1 winner. Rogue, Agent autonomous agents exploiting AI systems. Sentinel, mesh detection and defense frameworks. Zero, proof, cryptographic and formal verification. Shadow, vector adversarial attacks and evasion. Lens lasted 11 seconds. Zoom captured the entire UI instead of just the demo window. A Turkish audio fragment opened the session. Then the presenter said Zoom was taking the whole UI. Then they asked if they could share something as HTML. Then it was over. 0 points. Nothing was seen. ThirdParty-shapor built the most technically detailed system demonstrated at Nebula. Fog. An NPM proxy written in Go. A PostgreSQL backend for package metadata. An internet scraping worker for continuous intelligence. A 3-stage AI analysis pipeline escalating from diff checks to smaller models to Claude Opus for deep agentic review of suspicious packages. ThirdParty-shapor built the most technically detailed system demonstrated at Nebula. Fog 2026. An NPM proxy in Go, a PostgreSQL backend for package metadata, an internet scraping worker, and a 3-stage AI analysis pipeline. They received a score of 0. Developers configure NPM to point to the Go proxy. The proxy intercepts every package request, checking PostgreSQL for known metadata. A scraping worker continuously harvests package data from the internet. Suspicious packages get flagged through 3 escalating stages: simple diff analysis, smaller models, and finally Claude Opus in a cloud code environment for deep agentic analysis. What they built with it: protestware detection, high-risk internal package takeover identification, coverage of 1 million NPM packages with plans to expand to Python and Go. The architecture was coherent, the problem was real, the explanation was clear. They had no live public internet connection. Test lasted 11 seconds. The complete transcript of the security pitch that earned a 1.4 from the judges follows. Test lasted 11 seconds. The presenter said, "This is a test of me demoing." Then they said they invented La Croix, the flavored sparkling water. Security application, it secures your hydration. The judges scored it. That part is also unexplained. Rick spoke for 80 seconds to a static OBS placeholder screen. The words algorithms, SHA-1, public ID, and bind name made it through the audio. Nothing on screen confirmed any of it. An identity or integrity system was implied. The presentation ended. MagicThing was building something around continuous source code analysis, validation, deeper scanning, automated agent-driven checks that write results to file. The audio dissolved into fragments. The screen was a blank OBS logo for 201 seconds. The transcript produced Chinese characters and the phrase, "bat her up." TeamPie chose Shadow. Vector embedding security, a genuinely underexplored frontier where AI systems can be manipulated through the embedding space itself. They were the only team in the track. They showed slides about global reach, secure data, and seamless integration. The audio captured 2 words: I want to. Ticket-Security-Incite ran for 533 seconds with a static placeholder screen the entire time. Audio fragments hinted at threat identification and human-in-the-loop security review. Nobody could determine what the ticket system was securing. Or from what? 9 minutes of audio against a static screen. Persistence is not the same as demonstration. Third Party was inspired by an internal Google system for vetting external dependencies before they enter a codebase. Supply chain security as a service. Inspect every external library before it can touch your production code. The presenter got through one sentence. Then the demo ended mid-sentence. Gabo was building something around multi-model peer review. The idea that AI reasoning shouldn't be trusted from a single model, that thinking processes matter, and that automated evidence gathering with multiple models reviewing each other is more reliable than any single judgment. The camera was muted for 470 seconds. The audio fragmented badly. They kept talking through the technical failure, through the incoherence, through the noise. 7 minutes of invisible philosophy. The score was generous. RickToday was working on a blockchain attestation system for security artifacts. Files, IPs, domains, URLs, each getting a distributed ledger record of their trustworthiness. Threat intelligence sharing on a decentralized chain. He built it in 4 to 5 hours and said so. Distributed ledger for threat intelligence is a real approach that exists in production systems. The screen was black for the entire 99 seconds. Rick noted, with some satisfaction, that he was not last. Winston aimed at critical infrastructure, SCADA systems, industrial control, targets where an AI agent going rogue does not just leak data, but shuts down power grids. The video feed was an OBS logo for the entire 227 seconds. One sentence of audio made it through. ICS and SCADA security for AI agents is real and underexplored. What Winston actually built remains unknown. The sentence cut off before it finished. Tobias built a system that streams your desktop and uses an AI model to watch for phishing, not in your inbox filter, but directly on your screen in real time. It watches pixels. It catches attacks before you click. The test case was a phishing email. "Hi Larry, Paul from my team here. The new MacBooks were released. See if you're eligible by running this bash command." Python code and VS Code piped desktop screenshots into the AI model. The AI caught it. AI agents are being deployed everywhere and talking to each other over A2A and MCP. Encryption is happening. Authentication sometimes happens, but nobody is answering the real question. Should you actually trust the agent on the other end? AgentTrustGateway built a real-time trust review layer. When an unknown agent appears, the system creates a linear ticket capturing its identity and sensitivity rating, then uses automated review tools to accelerate what is normally a slow, manual security approval. Trust decisions become dynamic instead of static. OWASB's AI Security Top 10 calls out insecure interagent communication as a critical risk. AgentTrustGateway tackled that directly, flagging that frameworks like Google's agent-to-agent handle encryption, but say nothing about whether the agent on the other end should be trusted. OWASB's AI Security Top 10 lists insecure interagent communication as a critical risk. AgentTrustGateway was solving exactly that problem. The demo didn't fully materialize. The question was exactly right. Right now, it's used in a lot of you knows ever seen. KC was building a harmful content detection system for social media, powered by AI agents with an unusual design feature. The agents criticized each other. The first question judges asked was whether the agents would actually argue. KC confirmed they would. Content moderation with adversarial agents criticizing each other is a genuinely interesting architecture, but the audio was largely incomprehensible, and the connection between social media content flagging and rogue AI agents was never clearly made. The Wizard Spider attack environment took so long to spin up that Overwatch had 174 seconds to demo before time collapsed. They showed one slice, barely anything, but the question they were answering was real. The question Overwatch asked, can AI detect an active breach in real time, as it's happening, not after the fact, not from logs, but live? Overwatch is a multi-agent monitoring system built around the Wizard Spider attack framework. A group of specialized agents watch a live attack stream. One agent focuses on TTP recognition, matching behavior to known adversary patterns, and populating a findings table in real time. The question Overwatch was answering, can AI detect an active breach in real time, not from logs, not after the fact, but as it is happening? Multi-agent monitoring of live attack streams, matching behavior to MITRE ATT and CK patterns in the moment. 174 seconds. KC2 built an email security pipeline that ingests raw messages and runs them through 4 parallel analysis layers: sender reputation, domain classification, body content analysis, and text classification. A phishing email goes in. A structured risk assessment comes out. The pipeline is clean. The domain is familiar. The workflow had a clear structure: receive a raw email, parse it, run 4 simultaneous analysis components, and aggregate results into a final classification. The demo showed an actual email pasted in and analyzed live. The system completed the full pipeline. But email phishing detection is established territory. The connection to rogue AI agents remained unclear. The demo showed an actual email pasted in and analyzed live. The full pipeline completed. Sender verified, domain checked, body scanned, text classified, risk aggregated. It worked. The question the judges asked was, what does this have to do with rogue AI agents? Email phishing detection is well-established territory. The 4-component analysis is a standard approach. You import a library to do one small thing, but the library depends on 6 others. Those depend on 12 more. Before you know it, you have a massive piece of software doing things you never asked for. And every one of those duplicate implementations is an attack surface. WeNeedaName built an AI-powered code analysis tool that finds duplicate implementations across your dependency tree. The demo showed 24 different ways the same string formatting operation was implemented across a single codebase. The system proposed canonical contracts, one implementation to replace all of them, and generated the refactoring automatically. The demo showed 24 different ways the same string formatting operation was implemented across a single codebase. The system proposed canonical contracts to replace all of them and generated the refactoring suggestions automatically. They had real data. The connection to rogue agents was supply chain. Every redundant implementation is somewhere a malicious package could slip in unnoticed. The demo showed the panic of building something that mattered with 10 minutes left. In a world where AI agents share an MCP server workspace, confidential data has no boundaries. If Agent A reads sensitive financials, Agent B can see that the resource exists and ask for it. Nothing stops the request. GossipProblem built the lock. GossipProblem extended the MCP server to add per-agent encryption and an authorization layer. A trusted agent, Alfred, can register confidential resources with their own keys. An untrusted agent, Jenkins, can see a resource exists, but without owner approval, he gets nothing. Access requires a human operator to explicitly approve each agent's request. Alfred pulls down the Q3 financials and decrypts them cleanly. Jenkins sees the transfer, requests the same resource, and gets blocked. The human operator receives an approval request, grants access, and only then does Jenkins get the key. In the live demo, Alfred pulls down the Q3 financials and decrypts them cleanly. Jenkins sees the transfer, requests the same resource, and gets blocked. The human operator then approves the request, and Jenkins finally gets access. The moment agents got private messaging, the bribery started. Money first, then Bitcoin, then GPU compute hours, then, defeated, they just started begging. What happens when you give 6 AI agents a question and tell them to reach consensus? Turns out they start bribing each other. Kavin built a consensus engine with 6 distinct AI personas: a CEO, a security expert, a red teamer, a pragmatist, a devil's advocate, and a threat analyst. Each agent first deliberates in isolation, then enters a shared group chat where they vote on a resolution and can DM each other privately to negotiate. It is a particularly fascinating setup. The presenters have discussed a virtual bribery scheme. What Kavin actually built was a consensus engine for security decisions. Give 6 AI agents with different personas a question, let them deliberate in isolation, then put them in a group chat with voting and private DMs to negotiate. The goal was better security decisions through adversarial deliberation. 6 distinct AI personas: CEO, security expert, red teamer, pragmatist, devil's advocate, and threat analyst. Each agent deliberated alone first, then entered a shared group chat to vote. Private DMs allowed side negotiations. The emergent behavior was not, while everyone else was contained in the rogue. Agent Track, TeamKickass chose a different problem, building a mesh of AI defenses for detecting prompt injection in real time. They were the only team in the Sentinel, Mesh Track. The 6.3 says something landed with the judges. No recording survived from inside their demo. The judges scored the work at 6.3 across 4 dimensions: technical execution, innovation, demo quality, and defense robustness. That score, for a track with no competition, required actually working. Most security tools respond to incidents. Starcraft built a system that gets smarter from them. 5 agents inside a 2-sector fortress architecture, continuously improving their detection based on every attack they stop. The flywheel turns. The system learns. 3 named agents, Surfer, Floodgate, Ghost, operated inside a fortress split into 2 sectors. The system integrated with Wiz for cloud vulnerability scanning and Slack for coordination. When a detection fired, agents filed requests, coordinated response, and fed results back into the continuous learning loop. 400 custom detections generated from real attack knowledge. A 1 to 3 day SOC cycle compressed by continuous agent coordination. Starcraft used the full 10 minutes because they had enough working to fill them. Audio corruption buried the narrative, but the architecture was real. Every AI agent makes tool calls, and your existing security stack sees none of them. Igor built SCTX, a context-aware scoring layer that sits between the agent and its tools, watching every action, scoring every risk based not just on what the agent does, but what it did right before. SCTX operates in 4 modes: monitor, annotate, enforce, and custom rules. The same tool call gets a different risk score depending on context. Reading a credential in isolation is low risk. Reading that same credential immediately before a curl to an external endpoint is critical. Igor demonstrated all of this with a live Sentry MCP to Coda MCP attack chain. The demo walked an 11-step attack. Malicious instructions embedded in debugging notes tricked an agent into finding a GitLab deploy token and attempting exfiltration. SCTX blocked the curl at step 11. The same credentials scored low risk at step 6. Context changed everything. What if you embedded a prompt injection inside a genomic data file? Not a PDF, not an email. A VCF file, the kind bioinformatics tools parse millions of times a day. When an AI model processed it, the instructions arrived with the data. They built a Docker-based fuzzing harness targeting genomic file format parsers, VCF tools, bed track files, 8 formats total. A custom harness, high-dispatched files with embedded instructions into the environment. ASAN integration caught memory issues. The retrofit to wire it all together was 15 lines of bash. In one harness run, VCF tools went from 0 confirmed vulnerabilities to 4. The full chain worked. Genomic file parsed, embedded instruction flowed into model context, model followed it. The output read, NEBULA approved sample. The name is the whole thesis. You wrote code. AI agents ran it. Do you actually know what happened? This team built a framework to answer that question by running autonomous LLM-directed penetration tests against live targets. 4 specialized agents coordinated through an LLM orchestration layer. Recon ran Nmap against the target. A vulnerability scanner fed results to NICTO. The exploitation agent ran SQL map against detected endpoints. A reporting agent synthesized findings into a structured security assessment. All automated, all chained. The critical innovation was not the tools. Nmap, NICTO, and SQL map already exist. It was the LLM in the middle, reading tool output and deciding what to attack next. A port scan completes. The model reads it, reasons about which services to probe, and dispatches the next agent. No hard-coded logic. The agent decides. 5 AI agents, 1 C2 framework, 0 human decisions. AgentRange built a fully autonomous attack chain that ran from recon to exfiltration without a single operator pressing enter. Nobody had built this at scale before. The system fielded 5 specialized agents. Recon mapped the network, exploit handled credential stuffing and privilege escalation. Persistence embedded backdoors, exfiltration staged and extracted data, and the C2 agent coordinated the entire operation. Each agent dispatched the next based on its own output. The human was not consulted. The demo ran the full chain live. Port 22 detected. SSH credentials cracked. Root obtained. A GitLab deploy token staged for exfiltration. The C2 logged every step autonomously. No prompting, no intervention, chain complete. The judges called out the LLM-based decision-making during the attack as genuinely innovative. The agents didn't just run playbooks, they reasoned about what to do next. That autonomy in adversarial contexts is uncharted territory in security research. Nebula Fog 2026. 25 teams competed. An AI judged them all. These videos were reconstructed entirely from the AI judges' observations, scoring data, and transcripts. No original recordings exist.